Hey guys, Florida Fanatics here, and we are actually here to discuss the premiere shuttle review for EDC Las Vegas 2019.
So we did this last year, and this year we did it again because we loved it so much, but we had probably a little bit of a different experience this year, and we're going to share it with you guys. So hopefully it'll help make your decisions going forward or in the future.
Alright, so we did get the plastic card here, if you can see it. There it is. It was a little bit cheaper this year. It was something that you could potentially maybe lose if you had it on a lanyard, so I would recommend keeping it in your wallet probably.
Well, last year it was like a hard card. This one it's not
kind of flimsy.
But so the first day we actually did not take our premiere shuttle to EDC Vegas. That was kind of an experience in itself because we wanted to get there for the opening ceremony. So we did not pay the $5 for the early shuttle that left from the Stratosphere. We actually tried to get a lift, and when our lift came, we got denied.
Yeah. So, she's like, I'm not going there.
Yeah.
So
yeah, she's like, I'm not going to the Speedway. It takes 3 hours. So and then what made me mad is she canceled on us and then put in there that we canceled on her. So Lyft had charged us. So that made me mad just because I had to jump through hoops just to get my money back for that. But then we did find a guy that ended up saying he was going to take us. We did a ride share. Met a nice guy who was going to EDC for the first time, so that was cool. He was so excited. But we made it worth we know the traffic situation. We made it worth the Lyft driver's time. Yeah. I think we tipped them $30 on top of it.
Yeah, we did. So. We gave them a nice tip. So. Yeah, tip.
Well, last year they gave us a bunch of goodies and they gave us a hydration pack. This year they did not. So the first night you get your gift, which we got when we were leaving because we took the lift, but we'll show you what we got.
Well, we didn't get to choose, so I was handed this. This is more, goes around your body, so it's more like a, it's more like a, I don't know.
Body bag.
Body bag, there you go. And it says EDC Las Vegas 2019 on it.
And I actually got a pouch, which I actually used, and a fanny pack. And typically I'm not a fanny pack user because it's something, you know, from the 90s. But I actually used this. Mine actually broke on the last night. I don't know how. On the way home, sitting on the shuttle, I woke up and it was broken. And inside each of our things, we got these, which are
the EDC batteries. So you can actually charge
your phone
chargers.
Now they don't light up when you're charging it. There's a little red light here, and then when it's charging, it's blue. But it says EDC Las Vegas 2019 on the back. I don't really use these things because they don't hold that much power, but a nice souvenir, I guess.
Cool enough. I mean, and free is free, so you can't really complain too much, I guess. So, and then, I mean, you also, let's see, they were handing out these, which I'm sure everybody's pretty much familiar with at this point. The EDC temporary tattoos with the gold, which, they're neat. I saw people wearing them, it's pretty cool, but what else did they give us? So, on night 3, we did get these little packs. It says on the back, Sweet Dreams EDC Las Vegas. It has earplugs, a couple earplugs. Not that you need them now, though.
Yeah, earplugs in a case, and then it has the little sleeping mask here.
Actually, I put 2 earplugs in there. It only comes with one.
Oh, he got an extra pack. I don't know. He found an extra one, but this would have been better. Probably on night 1 versus the last night.
Like give the earplugs out if, you know.
But those were the gifts this year. Last year I think we got some better stuff because they gave us like chapstick each day.
That was cool. That was also very handy, I will say.
Very useful. But this, I enjoyed it because we filmed the sets. I was able to carry like the phones and the battery chargers in there versus in my hydration pack. So it took a lot of weight off my back, which I liked.
Yeah, because I mean we record all, you know, as you know, if you're subscribed, we do record a lot, you know, pretty much all the sets that we go to. Maybe not all, but the majority of them. And so yeah, it takes a lot of batteries to do that, and more than one recording device because they do overheat sometimes. If you're recording back-to-back sets, you gotta let the camera rest because it does heat up. So.
But all right, so let's get back to the actual shuttles and kind of reviewing the experience. Now, we got our shuttle stop was at MGM Grand this year. Last year we did the Hard Rock, which was not an option. Although when we did the Hard Rock, we didn't stay anywhere close to it, so that was kind of a pain last year.
Yeah.
But they controlled the shuttles a lot better than the MGM Grand. So now for the Premier is definitely worth it. Compared to the standard shuttles or doing any other type of transportation to and from.
And you will definitely see that if you are driving away from your shuttle stop and seeing the people that are waiting for the regular shuttles on your way, you will definitely see the comparisons and all the huge lines that are there that you're passing up, but you're paying to pass them up. So, in my opinion, I think it's definitely worth it.
Yeah. So, but I will say, I don't think that I liked MGM Grand and the way they did the shuttle stops. Now, I don't know how the other shuttle stops worked, but from what I was reading, I don't think they had the same issues as we did. Because as you know, when you buy the shuttle passes, there's usually like certain times for departure to and from the event. Yeah. Now, we did 6 p.m. departure from MGM, and technically ours said 3 a.m. departure to come back.
Right. Which we're not leaving at 3 a.m. It's not even close to over at 3 a.m. So.
But they're not strict on the return time. Now, the actual leave time to get there, MGM was actually very, very strict on that.
Yeah, they were they shut it down at a certain time and said, no, we're closing off. I think they had it was like an hour window, I believe, or something like that.
It wasn't consistent, so that was the issue. So
yeah.
So we didn't take the shuttle there.
Right, it wasn't.
Yeah, so we didn't take the shuttle there the first day. The second day we got there like around 6, a little after 6:30.
Yeah.
And they were saying that it was an hour window and they shut it down at 7, so we managed to get there right before they shut it down. And that day was kind of weird too because they held us there for almost an hour.
Yeah.
So they counted. So basically, there was, I guess, someone that was in a motorized scooter that needed a certain shuttle that had the lift. So they just held us until that came, which was actually sitting there the whole entire time. So I don't know what happened.
There was a miscommunication between the staff, and it was horrible. It was horrible. I mean, not for just us, but for the person who needed the assistance. It was.
Well, I think the person needed it, but they weren't there, so we ended up having to wait. So they held all of us and made us wait to get on that shuttle, which took an hour.
And there were also about 7 shuttles lined up, and they were sitting there saying, no, that's the 8 o'clock p.m. shuttles. Well,
that's what they said at first, which I think were.
Yeah, but then they ended up letting people go on other shuttles.
No, they didn't, because you remember what happened? So the girl behind us asked another guy, well, what's going on? What are those shuttles? And that guy was like, oh, those aren't EDC shuttles.
Yeah, and then that's right, because then we got out there and then they all said EDC on them.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, so somebody lied. So
but anyhow,
they were EDC shuttles. I don't know what it was, honestly.
Yeah.
It was just a bunch of miscommunications and nobody knew what they were doing. Last year's experience was way better.
But yeah, that was the experience on the second night. The MGM, now, they don't have a lot of space like the Hard Rock, because when we were at the Hard Rock last year, they had like shuttles just lined up in a row, and all they were doing is, you can come anytime, but until it was filled, it wasn't going to take off. Right. But they were just loading up, at all times, and MGM was just like dead set on cutting the line off until then. I think the next time wasn't even until 8:30.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like how MGM did it. Previous year, I liked how Hard Rock had it set up.
And then third day, I think we didn't go together. I got up earlier and I left before he did. And I went there and I got there about 6:20 based on what they were saying the night before, and they had already shut down the line. And here I'm the only one walking up to try to get on the shuttle, and the guy's like, no, you have to, if you want to go, you have to get on the standard shuttle across the street at Tropicana. And so, I didn't know what to do. I started walking away, and then all of a sudden I see like a huge group of people coming to board the shuttle. And then the guy tells them, no, this line shut down. And they started kind of raising a commotion about it, saying it's only 6:20, and the guy's like, yeah, we shut it down at 6:30, and they're like, well, it's not even 6:30 yet. So they just kept walking, and they were gonna get in the line. So I just followed them, and with a large group, they didn't say no, they let everybody through, and we got on. And my experience on the last day, we got on the shuttle, and I don't know, we're driving around, the driver starts turning around in like parking lots, and then all of a sudden someone up near the front looks back and asks us if anybody is from Vegas, because the driver doesn't know where he's going, that he's lost, and he needs directions. So
yeah, we got a lost driver there. Which means I ended up getting there pretty much the same time he did almost, and I was late. Technically late, but I got there about the same time he did. So
well, I got there
a little bit earlier.
But it took us an hour and a half to get there because the poor bus driver is like an older gentleman. He was so embarrassed, but at the same time, I don't know why it took him. He finally called like his supervisor, and they gave him directions, but I don't know why he just didn't do that to begin with.
Yeah.
But some people were pretty irritated on that shuttle, and I remember some guy was just like making comments, and then like his girlfriend or whatever was like telling him to just be quiet and calm down. But so that was the experience with me. I don't know how your shuttle was.
It's fine. My driver didn't get lost.
Yeah. So, but security, when you do the Premier shuttles, it's a breeze, it's pretty quick. They always have bottled water there for you every single day. You can take as much as you want, so that's really nice. Yeah. Some guy like went and took a bunch and filled up his water pack.
That's what I did actually on the third day, because I mean, instead of going to wait in the free water line, they check you and pat you down and make sure that your thing's empty, but afterwards you can get water. They say go ahead, take 3 and 4, do it. Trust me, do it. Fill up your hydration pack so you don't gotta go wait in a line to get free water that actually kind of tastes not as great. So
yep. So once they check you for security, you can fill up your pack, and so what you did probably tasted better than free water.
It did.
And then they gave us snacks, so they gave us those Nature's Valley oats and honey granola bars, the really dry ones.
And they also had the Be Kind ones with like the almonds, I think.
And caramel ones, yeah. So those came in handy on the second day because we didn't have time to eat, and we were just wanting to have to grab something quick at the festival, and we knew Skrillex was going to be playing, so we didn't want to really waste time. Right. So we ended up just eating a couple of those, and we were fine.
We were good to go, and we were on circuit grounds pretty much the rest of that night, I believe.
Yeah.
But it was a blast. It was a lot of fun.
So security, everything like that, when you do the Premier shuttles, it's a breeze. When you get off the shuttles, you come on the other side, you enter the stadium from the other side. Not once did we have, it was like a long wait to get in. It was pretty quick to just scan your band and get inside the venue. Now, one of the things that was there last year that we didn't check out, but we checked out this year, is they had that enclosed building, and they were giving out like snacks and free water in there, other little doohickeys, and I think they had more of these things.
Yeah, little body patches, so.
And the only reason we went in there this year is because it was so cold and we wanted to get out of the cold.
Yeah, it was a cold year. Last year wasn't. This year it was freezing pretty much every night. And then apparently they sold out of sweatshirts, so.
But other than that, when you do Premier Shuttle, there's always some bathrooms there that are in trailers, so they're a little bit nicer than the porta potties.
Yeah.
And there's never a line, so that's really cool. Now, I will say the first night when we were leaving, we left we stayed the whole time. I think we stayed till end of 5:30.
Yeah, I mean, we got to do our whole day. Getting there was pretty easy. Obviously, since we took a lift, but leaving the first night did take a lot longer because we stayed for the entire, until the music stopped when the sun was rising. So yes, if you do that, it is gonna, I think we were the last shuttle, or one of the last.
Well, I heard that it got better on day 2 and 3, but for the first day, yeah, we were there. Yeah. It took over an hour for us to be able to board a shuttle, because it just didn't seem like any were coming to pick us up.
Yeah, it was rough.
But I was watching down the other stops, I think Luxor and all of them. They had the same long lines, but theirs were like emptying out quicker. Yeah. Even the standard shuttles, all the shuttle buses, like they were coming one after the other for standard. But finally, we got a shuttle. We were on the last one, and then they had 10 people from one of the other lines that they just put on our bus too, so it was going to make 2 stops.
Yeah.
So that was only the bad thing, really. when leaving, because the next 2 nights we did leave about 30 minutes earlier each night, and we didn't have to wait. But I heard it wasn't really as bad. And the only weird thing too with the MGM is that we got dropped off at the hotel at those random spots each night. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I mean, they'll basically, okay, so there's a sidewalk pretty much along pretty much the same strip though. I mean, it's the same street, but it's like it's a long street. So they were basically just dropping you off anytime or any place that was free to drop off, so it was like they could get the heck out of there. And yeah, pretty much you had to walk. So
well, last year, because we snuck, well, they let us on the MGM return home last year, and it was always the drop-off was in the same place that they picked up.
Right.
This year, because I mean I fell asleep every single time, but when I woke up, we were in a different spot each time, and like further and further away, because we had to walk back over to Hooters, but it wasn't like a far walk. But we got dropped off on strip side, which made it longer.
Yeah.
And I never knew what happened to the other people on night 1.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or what hotel they were going to. But yes, let us know in the comments below. Let other people know in the comments below if you took a Premier shuttle from any of the other stops. Were they as strict as the MGM when it came to departure times? Because if they're not, we're gonna probably rethink our location for next year and not do MGM, but we'll still do Premier.
So I mean, yeah, like you said, let us know what you think. And even if you didn't, if you did the regular shuttles, I mean, were they quick? At what time did you get home? If you were, first in line or last in line, or, let us know your thoughts.
All right, so again, we definitely endorse the Premier shuttles. We give it 2 thumbs up overall, just maybe not the MGM Grand location.
At least for 2019, so.
But we will see you guys next year at EDC Las Vegas 2020 for the 10th anniversary in Las Vegas.
And so we will see you under the electric sky. Florida Fanatics out for now, and please comment and subscribe below, and we'll see you later.